everybody. Welcome to Cheechable LIVN. We are wrapping up season 3, and I am here with our crew so we can dish the behind the scenes and some cool stuff that's happened to us over the course of these past 3 seasons. So, thanks for joining me today, crew. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Seth Sipko, the art director for Cheechable LIVN.
Yeah. Thanks, Seth. Thanks for joining us. And who do we have over here?
We have Rick Ring. I'm the lead camera person and writer and sometimes technical director on the show.
Yeah. And I'm Cheech. I'm the host and creator of Cheechable LIVN. I do, the production and I guess just hang out with these two and make the show every week. We've done this show for 3 seasons now. What were your top 5 segments?
Okay. Top 5 segments. This is a tough one. I'm a big fan of a lot of them. Season 2, episode 3, Rome Grown.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I really liked your interview with Gary at Gigs, and it was fun stopping by Alex and his psychedelic compound.
Yeah.
See how that's evolved over the years. I hadn't been back there in so long, and it was cool to go check it out. So that was a fun one for me. Season 2, episode 4, Leshadelic. Just because the whole thing's bonkers. Is completely bonkers. Season 2, episode 7, Showing. Love the selfie bot. That was just so cool. And I like the DJ set.
Yeah, that
the
was
DJ
a cool
set was
episode.
really solid. That's one that I actually come back to sometimes. Season 2, episode 17, the Art on Earth compilation. Just because we finally got to do that whole storyline, and it was pretty zany. And then season 3, episode 11, Culture. Just because I like showing off.
Yeah, your shameless plug. Your
A shameless plug. And also to introduce my buddy Dave Roller Coaster Oster to the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
And beyond.
I know.
Because
that guy's
he's just
cool.
a really good artist and also kind of a nut. Sorry, Dave.
Well, that's awesome. That's a lot. Gosh, you kind of took me back there for a minute. Like selfie bot. Oh, so cute. Just a cute episode and really fun to film too. Like we tried a lot of little experimental things, and Fry was, such a good guest, and I loved the pairing of the lab coat with the robot and just kind of making art and and just kind of that spirit that they both brought to, I guess, the community at large. It was pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are good ones.
I remember I was working with some of the other camera people trying to get move these heavy cameras and do a panning shot around the selfie bot, and it sort of worked, but we're trying to learn what we can do, what our limitations are.
I know. That's one thing I always wished for. I think it would have been cool to see, I guess a behind the scenes camera where it showed just how much, sometimes we had a crew of 2 people. I know, there's been a lot of times where it's just been, you and me, Rick, or you and me, Seth, and, we're just like, all right, we gotta do this. Let's figure this out. I remember one time Rick and we were in Studio B. We're like, what? That was like, how do we get over here? We're usually in Studio A, you know? Uh, but, you know, it's just like making it work. And yeah, I wish people could see that too, because I think that that would be fun. Maybe maybe that's something we could do, like a little picture in picture. You know, there's the main
Oh yeah.
segment, and then like in the little picture it can just be like all the crew and just like the stuff that we're doing to get the shot. So how about you, Rick? What are your top five, and like, yeah, segments or episodes? You know, I think it's all fair.
Well, I'm a huge fan of music and live music, so every time we had a musical guest, totally great. I loved Tigers on Opium, and we had a full crew then to really capture everything, and they brought a lot of energy. And there's, you know, that's someone I discovered through, you know, your production. Same with Stinkbug, and I want to go see them live when they're nearby or here. Yeah, that's just great. And I like the DJ set also. Tom Brokaw?
Chip Brokaw.
Tom
Yeah.
Brokaw.
DJ Colin Jones, or the Big Green Jones Show.
Right. Great. And that, you know, you had a bunch of the community coming and dancing, wearing solstice wear, and that was just kind of a fun happening. And I'm like, you know, behind the camera, like dancing.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Behind the scenes cam. Good to see Rick shaking it.
Plus, on Stinkbug, I got to work with the jib, which I don't normally, and that's the kind of the crane cam that you can change the different accesses and move around and track motion. And that's a lot of fun. It's kind of playing a video game and following the best shots. And so I'm really happy that you guys brought me on board. In the first season, we were in the studio cohort together, and that's how we met. And then just after a few episodes, I was like, would you mind if I, you know, wrote a little bit for you? You're like, yeah, of course. And you're really supportive of that. And I think that's about when I came up with the Art on Earth series. Yeah. And you're like, yeah, let's do it. And you were like right there with me, knowing what I wanted to do and allowing it to like get stranger and like really live with the character and what she's going through to make a whole arc. And I had a lot of fun writing it, and then being in the studio and working with you, Alicia, to you know, figure out this character and direct. And I love directing also. So thank you for the opportunity for that. That's been a lot of fun. So I love those segments. Yeah, I don't want to be like so self-centered, but I think the stuff that I liked to do was stuff that like really pushed my boundaries. So another one is Ghost Kush, which is another single cam.
Oh, right, yeah.
Out of the studio.
That was a good one.
Short. So we had to plan how to have you on set interacting with an animated character that wouldn't exist until we put them in post. And that was a lot of fun. And I kind of learned how to do some animation and putting it on, you know, overlaying it onto live action. And it was fun. You know, I laugh at it watching my own stupid stuff.
I visit that one often. That was a really funny segment.
And I just like how the seasons have changed throughout each season. There's a new theme and kind of a new way of bringing entertainment and information to people. And so this new season as a whole has been really great for the kind of whole Earth vibe that we're bringing. So I like the evolution of the show a lot.
Oh, yeah. Gosh, I know you've created some really cool characters. Just like, I think, yeah, I guess I've just really enjoyed. I don't know. I feel like this crew has been it's a serendipitous type of a creative moment, right? Like I think those are rare, but they happen. When a bunch of creative people come together and there's just like a wavelength that clicks.
Mhm.
And that's kind of what, I mean, Seth and I have been, working together for years and maybe even close to decades at this point, which makes me feel weird saying, but like it's true, right?
Right.
Um, and then Rick, it's just been like so cool because you've just kind of like folded right into that.
Mhm.
I feel like we are, on the same wavelength. Like we all can present an idea in our creative meetings, and then we just like zap in on it and are like, yeah, and then it's like this and like that, and then this
Mhm.
character says blah blah blah,
Right.
you know like Ghost Kush, right? Like I felt that way with those really unfortunate characters on that dating app,
Oh
but
yeah,
it was
yeah.
it was fun to make those, and
Mhm.
just like think of a way to make it look like a dating app without having to build a full data app or dating app.
Right.
And I guess I kind of like cheated that by doing I recorded all those like Instagram stories so
Mm.
I could put the filters on and change my
Mhm.
my character. And it was pretty, I don't know,
Yeah.
effective. I
There's
got to
some.
wear a beard. I got to, have a bucket hat and some
Mhm.
sunglasses. Um,
Yeah,
but
there's a lot of ingenuity there, and you could store it just like offline on your phone and like flip through them, and then we didn't need to do anything in post. It was all existed right there, like it was a real app. That was
yeah,
awesome.
yeah, right. Like it was cool, and I think I like those moments too, where it's like, yeah, we kind of are challenged to work with what we've got. We all are doing this in I guess this is our creative incubator space, like where we can try new ideas, um, learn things, and support each other in doing all of that.
Hmm.
So yeah, so doing things that are kind of scrappy but like really effective, you're like, oh crap,
Mhm.
this was fast, it was free, and really effective. It was so hard for me to pick my favorite segments. I really love the I really like the maid show. That was a cool episode. And I do this show. It's funny because people will ask me, where do I get the ideas for the shows, or the segments, and how do I know these people? And my response is just like, Cheechable LIVN really comes from my life. These folks are people in the Cheechable community, and they're people that I've worked with in the past. They're people I've gone to school with. They're people that we've stood side by side during workshops, or even just like community efforts, and making stuff happen. So it's like the maid episode was a really good example of just all these people that I really admire and I care for. And it just gives me a lot of joy to have a platform to showcase all of these people blowing shit up in their own lives. Maid Show was a great example of just like a place where I got to catch up with people that I liked working with and riding with, or just people who were really tuned in and excited about cycling. So I liked that, and there was a lot of information. The other one that kind of reminds me of that same vein is the land use uh, episode, in the segment with the seed company. And Amy was so cool, and she just taught everybody about, native and pollinator grass. And
Mhm.
you know, if you know me, like the seed shop folks, those are my homies, you know, like I see them all the time, and you know, I love those guys over there. Um and then, you know, that's how I got connected to them, was through my friend Clutch, you know, which is a graffiti artist, and we did that seance episode
Yeah.
with him. And you know, that was another one of my favorite episodes to film. And then also just to watch, and just to have a memorial of, you know, somebody that's very close and dear to me.
I wasn't on set that day, but I heard some stories about maybe some supernatural happenings that might have happened.
Oh yeah, oh my gosh, that was so cool. So that was a really interesting shoot, because that was really focused on Clutch and in the book that we were doing together. And I didn't know, I've never worked on a project with somebody who passed away in the middle of, you know, working on it. And part of processing that was really like finishing that project, you know, and just seeing it through. And that was a really challenging part of that year prior. But when we were filming that, it was so wild. Uh, all of the studio equipment just stopped working, and we had to get an external audio track. I mean, Seth, do you remember that? There was like
Yeah, it
one
was crazy. Like
camera.
one thing after another,
Yeah.
and it was just uncanny. Just uncanny how that happened.
All sorts of havoc on the equipment,
Total
just
menace.
from, yeah, just from being, you know, just energetically there. I think he wanted to like bust through and start talking, because I know that was something that you know, kind of towards the end of his life, he his voice was really gravelly. And you know, he had a stroke, so it really impacted the way that he could project. But he would still get really excited and passionate about things, and so he just like push right through all of that, and like still convey everything. So that's kind of what I felt in the studio that day, where he was just like, I was just like, oh gosh, he's here, and he's just trying to like push through so he can talk and participate in the conversation. Which we had Josh from the seed company doing the voiceover for Clutch. And then we had you did that animation of his cutout, and
Yeah. Yeah.
and we made him come to life. What else? What other behind the scenes things have you seen or experienced that you feel like you want to share?
So there's one instance that I do remember just because it was so out of hand. I don't know if you remember one of our early episodes. We decided that we were going to stack as many guests as we could, and we would have them on like a really tight time.
Uh-huh.
You know, I think it was like a minute or two per guest, and we were just cycling through them in the studio. Super ambitious, but we had Dick Fitz in, and he was, you know, performing solo. And I think it was like a 3-minute set. And I had a timer on that he could see. And about 30 seconds into his set, he closes his eyes. And I'm just watching him from the side, and I'm getting more and more spun out as the time is winding down, and he will not open his eyes. And I was like, there's no way that he can tell. And his piece was rambling and really good, but it just free flowing. And right at the final moment, He opens his eyes, he's done with his set, and it's over. And I almost passed out. Blew my mind to this day.
That's so funny. I remember that too. It was just like, yeah, we had guests stacked on top of each other. There was like, yeah, because that was so we had Liz from Liberation Institute. We had Nathan from Awesome Future, and then we had Johnny Cool,
Right.
and then we had a cooking segment, and then we had Boomer
Boomer, yep, okay.
perform comedy, and then Johnny Cool played a set, and then Dick played a set at the end of that. So how many sets was?
So many.
That was so many
Why did we
performances
do that?
in
Was that
four
just to
hours.
get as much content as possible, and we had a different production philosophy back then.
Yeah, I know. Well, so that was also partially like my understanding of what we needed to do a pilot. So they said, okay, to have a series, you had to have 3 episodes to submit
Right.
to become a series. And so I was like, oh, okay, so well, let's just do this like a talk show. I mean, that's what talk shows do, and they
We had mail call, right? We also had Maurice,
that's
the mail
right.
carrier.
We did, and we did that every interview. Can you believe that now? Like, could you imagine us like introducing that now? Oh, how about during an interview we just drop in the mail call? What?
Yeah, there was the voiceover that would go over the over the PA. Mail call.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god.
Oh wait, it was my voice, wasn't it? It was like mail call.
Yeah.
No, it was mine.
It was yours? Okay, now we got to go back and review the tape.
I remember both. How could that be?
It's the Mandela effect. We made it happen in like less
The whole
than a
time
year.
I thought it was Seth's voice, but as soon as you said it like mail call, I was like, yeah, that actually sounds right too. I don't know.
Yeah,
Seth's mad
I could have
now.
been sassy.
He's Seth's mad now. He's like,
There's also
"No,
that the trivia segment. Was that might not have been the same day?
No, that was not the same day, but I
Okay.
think we were still in that same mania where it was like, okay, let's get all the guests in at the same time, because we were doing a show every single week, and we had 2 studio sessions a month, but there's like 4 weeks in a month, so we needed to do 2 shows every studio session at least.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when we started doing field shoots too. Because the, studio times weren't really enough to create all the content that we needed for a weekly show. And then you remember that, Seth, where we were going like filming every day. Like almost every day.
If we were out, we were filming.
Yeah, so it was just like filming every day, editing every like Sunday through Tuesday.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember, going to sleep at 4 a.m.
Yeah, right? And just like dealing with rendering times too, like
rendering the episode right before work, leaving for work, and then uploading it on my lunch break.
Mm-hmm. And not to mention, what are you doing in between there? You're biking 5 miles, so you're biking 20 miles in between there.
Whoa.
Yeah. It was so crazy.
Hey, you guys are psychos. Like, let's go do stuff. Yeah.
I feel like feeling anxiety all the time.
Yeah. You never relax.
Pursuit of your creativity. Yes, I do.
Well, you know what? That's how it goes. If we don't do it to ourselves, then somebody else does it to us.
Yeah, on their terms.
On their terms, yeah. Oh my gosh, what a wild show. What about you, Rick? How's your behind the scenes stuff been?
Oh, let me think. I don't know that I have the kind of the crazy stories, but I just really appreciate the time in the studio that I get to learn how to technical direct, how to be in the control room, changing cameras, communicating to um, the talent, the people in front of the cam from a different room, um, lighting a studio. This has all been really great to learn. And everyone at Open Signal and on the show have been very supportive, and people share knowledge. And that was really great. And I think that, like, um, well, the show's kind of taken me to places that I haven't been, people in the community, and it's a big reason why I joined the show and joined Open Signal, and to meet who's out there and who's doing really interesting projects. And we worked on a video that had been in the makings for a long time, Snailian. Finally gave it legs, as it were, and did it to a festival. And so I got to go to a film fest with this kind of scrappy movie that you guys had been working on for a while, and we were able to kind of like put a framing device to it, and it's like, okay, let's complete this, and that was cool too, and just showing it to an audience.
Yeah.
That stuff was fun.
Oh my gosh, Snailian. I know. That was cool. That was cool to be included in that, right? Like I think I was really surprised when we were chosen to be one of 8 films for this film festival. And then I was really surprised when we saw the rest of the films that were in. I was like, oh, these are like people have budgets for these and like and they were supported in their art, and then we just kind of like, here we are too.
Stallion.
Stallion. But that was cool because Bridge City Media put that on for the Solar Punk Film Festival, and they chose our film. They said it was one of their top choices for all of the films, and even had one person wearing a snail piece of jewelry in support of our film.
Cool.
And yeah, so we made an impact with a funny little story that, I don't know, is a little commentary on contemporary and future shit. But yeah, no, I think that's a good point about being on crew, Rick. Like, I think, yeah, like you've just been such an integral part into like keeping the production moving, like um you're always there, right? Like you're always a part of the creative process. And also, like, I think the thing I appreciate is like problem solving in the studio, because every shoot has, okay, great, well, all of our audio equipment's totally rogue right now, so what do we do? And so it's nice to have people to work with that are creative but also have like an analytical mindset to be able to kind of work with things as they change, and that's not easy to find, that's not in everybody. But I know the 3 of us definitely have been in our spots and just been like, okay, well, this is what we're doing now.
Yeah, let's try this and let's make this work.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, and I think we've all become, I think we've all been happy with what the outcomes have been. And also just really, I don't know, I guess I have appreciated the way that we can we can articulate our thoughts to one another too, you know. So if something doesn't work, then hey, you know what, it's not working, let move past it
Mhm.
or figure it out. And you know, I feel like this has been um you know, this production just kind of keeps advancing in a steady kind of a way because of that. Like I don't know. It's so funny. That's been my experience with Cheechable. You know, we run into obstacles and boundaries all the time, but throughout this journey, it's just, it's like, oh, okay, but we still made progress more than we got, you know, knocked on our butts. Like,
Mm.
okay, well, I guess we just keep on moving, you know,
Yeah, totally.
just keep
Sorry.
on plugging
Yeah.
away. Yeah, so that's just been really, I don't know, super special. And I think like I feel grateful for, you know, for you guys and, you know, for this production at large and, you know, everybody who's just been on the show and, you know, make it get to public access and get to YouTube every single week. Every single week.
Wow.
I know.
For a year and a half, guys.
Not bad. Not bad.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's been really nice. Well, anything else that we didn't cover or we should highlight for the finale?
I want to wish you guys a happy new year. And what does 2026 look like for Teachable?
Ooh, that's a good
Good question. Yeah.
question. 2026. So we want to do more music. I think that's something that's it's close to my heart. I think, you know, it really resonates with the community that we have, right? And people are musicians and they're doing so many cool projects now. So um we want to do that, right? And then I think we started talking about creating more of a narrative through our show, and so I think that that is something exciting that's going to come up. Is that there'll be more of a narrative from the front to back of the show every week, and also, another thing that I'm really excited about is the incorporation of animation
Nice.
and bringing that into you know, real things that are happening, but we can utilize the, you know, animation as a tool to kind of create these like more I don't know if they're like more idealistic or more kind of I don't know about fantasy, but like, you know, creating a different environment that might not be tangible to us in, I guess, in our spaces that we occupy. So I think we can get a lot more creative with the environments that we can build. Um, I'm excited because, you know, I guess my whole goal is like, you know, Seth knows this. I don't know if Rick knows this, but you know, I've said this. I shouldn't say I've always say this, but you know, if human beings aren't levitating by 2030, like what the heck? What are we
Yeah.
doing? What are we
Mhm.
doing? Yeah. So, you know, like I'm looking towards you know, utilizing animation as like an inspiration to help us push our physical and psychic boundaries.
Okay.
And you know, I think we can probably have some cool conversations kind of integrated within that concept too.
Yeah.
Love it.
So blasting
Oh,
off in 2026, teaching people
Into
how
it.
to
yeah.
levitate.
Exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so okay, here's my question for you guys too is you know, what are you looking forward to in the future of your creative process in general and then for the show?
I think just more art, more discovery. more, I don't know, satisfying curiosity. You know, that I think that's just like in general, but also for the show. You know, I think that's just life.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So, yeah, keep all of those factors going.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, I feel like the show over the 30 some odd episodes that we've got under our belt has been a continually expanding piece.
Yeah.
You know, and not even really with production quality. I mean, that obviously is going to continue to improve, but just I think how we engage with the medium and, you know, seeing opportunities for expression,
Yeah. I like that.
expression and connection.
Yeah, I'm excited to see where some of these kind of narrative through lines go through. I like to think of myself as a storyteller, and I'd like to direct some of my energy into that as well.
Yeah.
In the
More
show
of that.
and other things as well. So that's exciting for me. Yeah, kind of that's mostly it, and just kind of, I mean, and just to see that things in my life are creative, whatever they are. Say, like, even if I'm making food in the kitchen, like I'm creating something, or I'm coming up with a little song. I've also enjoyed writing little ditties for the show too, and I'd like to do some more of those. And it's like pressure because it's like 15-second little things. Like, okay, this is kind of a groove. Like, so maybe I'll push some boundaries there a little bit too.
Cool.
Good.
It'll be kind of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, the I've appreciated the music contributions, like I like I've had some fun remixing some audio, when I get a chance to be at the editor's deck, and I love that Rick, you always provide kind of like a really rounded out, audio, visual, package with your segments that you produce. And, Seth, you've just been like a hound on like the sound hound.
Yeah.
Like pulling stuff from vaults that are really kind of cool and obscure, and yeah, so I think I'm really looking forward to working with more music, and getting more of that audio, uh, and just like, yeah, I'm excited about the narrative too, because there's an aspect to the interviews that I really like, and I'm just like, wow, this is super informative. But I do feel like I think this is a next level challenge to kind of what you're saying, Rick, about like being a storyteller, and really like adding some context to these things, and what people do, and how we're all connected in ways that we access these points of creativity or services, or an experience. So yeah, I'm just excited about illuminating all of that, and lighting the match to 2025, even though it was a you know positive experience in the show. I think this like worldview kind of stuff can just, I think we need to evolve a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you say, Seth? Last one out.
Last one out. Light the match.
I don't know.
Blow shit up.
Yeah, we're just gonna blow shit up. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna come in here. We're gonna kick open doors. We're gonna pull out tablecloths, and then we're gonna blow shit up. Well,
Yeah, I'm going to 2026 like that. What up? I
yeah,
need that.
here we come. All right. Well, I want to say big thank you to both of you.
Thank you.
Big thank you. Shout out to all of our crew, all of our guests, everybody who's volunteered, everybody who is, supported Cheechable. I just have a lot of gratitude for folks that show up and are supportive and keep everything rocking every single day. So, I'm excited. I'm excited for the future. I'm excited for, what's to come.